Hello Aquarius, welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back, and for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Aquarius, this is going to be your next 2-week read. This will be Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. Cross Watcher, if you're here, welcome as well. Thank you to everybody who's liked, shared, subscribed, commented, and booked personal reads with me. I appreciate each and every single one of you. If you are interested in a personal reading, that information is found in the description box below, as well as with channel memberships, where you have access to different videos around the new moon, full moons, as well as daily readings Monday through Friday here on the channel, okay? So we'd love to have you join us, and that part of that would go to get those videos, the healing series and higher. Okay, so with that being said, Aquarius, let's jump in and see what's going on for you for the next 2 weeks. I hope that you all are doing well. Again, thank you for all your love and support here. Fire and perception, spontaneity. I just heard it's a quest. It's a quest for relief. It's a competitive kind of feel, Aquarius, that you're in, because you're trying to ascertain something here. So what is the spells? Alchemy. You are pulling something in for you that is long overdue. You're stepping into your power, Aquarius. Pluto being in your sign right now, and then for the next 20 years, there's a lot of you're coming into your own. You're really coming into your own. You're not afraid to kind of stir the pot. You're not afraid to see what happens of the things that you are, Spirit's saying, mass producing. So you could be in some kind of production of something, whether this is on a bigger scale, personal scale, whatever it is. But I do feel like you're kind of like whipping up new ideas. It's kind of like going into the kitchen and going, you know, if I take this ingredient and this ingredient and this, like, what can I make of that? And I do feel like you're kind of in this alchemical presence of, you know, what can I make from, you know, nothing? Like, what can I create? Is it a new recipe? Is it a new job? Is it a new position? Is it a new way of loving, a new way of living? But I feel like you're really in a place right now of testing things. It's like it's trial and error, right? It's like seeing what else can come next from whatever you've got. And key, right? Core of the problem, getting over those. Perception again. Perception, appearance, mirroring energy. Some of you may have had an issue with a father figure in your life. And it's part of this might be some level of rebellion against, I don't know, let's just, you know, typical example I would say is like, dad was a lawyer. You should be a lawyer, son, right? And it's like, nah, I'm going to go be a tattoo artist. You can't make money at that, right? That whole kind of gig. So, you know, there could be something around like what I'm going to call it identity issues is what Spirit is saying. So thank you, Spirit, for that. So let's see. For Aquarius for the next 2 weeks, electronicization, data backup, digital. Let's see what else, Spirit. What else for Aquarius in the next 2 weeks? Forgotten person. Getting back to the core of yourself and working through that. So I feel like you guys, this kind of supports everything I just said. Key remaining under the bottom. It's even, I'm going to tell you this, even if you've done a lot of personal healing work for yourself, you know, I've always said it, and I think any other reader who is spiritually inclined for the healing purposes of our evolutionary process and ascending, right? They will tell you that every time you go into another layer, there's another layer beyond that. And that's kind of what I feel like. I do feel like there's a person from the past. Something could be coming up. It is pre-shadow Mercury retrograde. It isn't just people that show back up. It's lessons, it's patterns, it's behaviors, it's work, it's something we did 15 years ago. Like it's something, right, that comes back up for review. And I don't necessarily feel that this is a person per se, but the impact that they left on your life. And now you're seeing some kind of, I'm going to say, spiritual proof here, Aquarius, that, you know, again, like I just keep getting this passed over father figure. I don't know why. So that's going to resonate with somebody out there, but it does come from the past. It comes from a lineage. And it's like, you know, it's like whenever we say something and we're like, oh my God, my mother just came out of my mouth. Something to that effect. So behavior, a pattern, maybe even health issues as well. In the work card, again, like working through it, figuring it out, 444 on the clock and going, I'm going to get past this. Whatever this obstacle is for me, I've got the power. I've got all that I need to work my way through whatever this might show up as in my life. And I'm ready to take on this thing. But it's like more so the mystery around where it came from. And I think you understand where it came from, but it's like, I never seen it that way before. So there's an epiphany that is happening here for you over the next 2 weeks. So let's see here. Let's clarify. Electronization, please. 5 of Pentacles. It could be just one area of life, Aquarius, that it's just like, it always seemed 5 of Swords. So 2 5s. So that's a big epiphany, a big aha, right? It's something that is life-changing. It's big changes. Queen of Swords. You know, now you know, right? It's like, now I know. I've got enough proof to something that this supports what I already suspected, maybe already thought about, but this really clarifies, right? The Queen of Swords, she brings in a lot of clarity. This is where this came from. Now what do I do about it? Because it's like that one thing that maybe has been a little bit harder for you to get through, or you always feel like you had to just put in extra effort, or it was maybe something you've seen as a weakness and you're like, I don't even think you've seen it as a weakness. It's just like, when I try this one thing or I do this one thing, it never seems to go in my favor. Why is that? And I do think that you're kind of getting the proof around why it is that's caused you some worry and the unknown. This full moon in Taurus that we're having on Wednesday could be part of that epiphany for you. It's like, la la, like, you know, the lights come on and there it is. That's the thing. So I do think that, you know, it's Spirit saying it's well reasoned why it's happening now too. There's something that it's almost like you had to follow a course or a path. Particularly if it's been in your work, you had to learn how to work with different types of individuals to elevate yourself, feeling elevated in certain situations, because without the confidence or the elevation for you on a whole, I'm going to say a holistic level, you could have gotten to this point and you never would have seen it without these other layers of this healing work that you've been doing. So now that you're in this state of the evolution that you've come into to this date, right? Now you're able to self-reflect and go, now I see this. Now this makes a lot more sense to me, because in the past, it just seemed like it was a hardship to some degree. So you are alchemizing that hardship and having an understanding about it. It's like always feeling like you were chasing something down, sword and rose, and now the truth, the revelation here is coming in to give you clarity around that. Okay, so I hope that's making sense for you. Now, in regards to this forgotten person, please, Spirit, for Aquarius in the next 2 weeks. Knight of Wands. Magician energy here twice. I like that for you, Aquarius. There's some level, 3 of Swords, I was going to say, there's some level of acceptance, right? It's like maybe trying to get someone to accept you as you are, love you just as you are, you know, just as you show up, you just authentically trying to be you, and that was never enough. So we tend sometimes to lean into a shadow side, or we fall into addictions patterns, always rushing in. It's like your dog bringing you a stick and going, look, you know, here's my stick, I'm going to drop it on the doorstep. Great. Next time you turn around, it's a squirrel, then it's a rabbit. And they just keep bringing you things, trying to find some level of Spirit, people pleasing, right? It's like trying to please somebody that it's like, I don't even know if you knew who they were. I don't think that this person, whether they're still physically here or they've already passed, it's always like rushing in to try to please. Like, is this enough? Did I do good this time? And it's a level of self-acceptance that you can't gauge what you need to be off of what someone else thinks you're supposed to be. This is about you having total acceptance and understanding that, you know, maybe in your dad's eyes, as an example, you're just never going to be good enough because you didn't follow in his footsteps. You could have been, you know, if he's a lawyer and you became a doctor, why would you be a doctor? You'd do better as a lawyer. Like, there was no pleasing, or there could never have been any level of pleasing that would have totally sufficed what they were, the expectation that they had of you, right? So it's kind of like every time you went in, you were Spirit armoring up, and here comes the hammer. It's constantly like going back and trying to work on that. And I think with age and time, you kind of just had given up. Narcissist, you know, with the narcissist card there, it's never good enough. The sunglasses, it's constantly scrutinizing your every move. Like, if you did it this way, it was wrong. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you did it that way, it was wrong. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. And as you've gotten older, it's like time, the essence of who you were becoming, slowly kind of cared less about the need to please, because you knew that every time you did this thing or tried that thing, that it would lead to some level of disappointment in something, right? So it's kind of like you just, again, as you get older, you have a little less cares to give about what everybody else thinks. And I think with age, that's what's brought you this transformation, is going, it really doesn't matter because I'm happy. It's about your personal happiness, but there's still a pain attached to that. And it's like Seven of Pentacles. I've planted the seeds. I've tried to cultivate this thing, but now what I feel like this thing, whatever this thing is for you, is something new for you, because it's going to present great opportunity moving forward, but it's needing to get past those wounds, or spirits calling them deficits, that you thought you saw, or what you thought was a deficit at some point. It really wasn't that. It was just you were trying to fit into a box that wasn't quite you. And honestly, it also feels, Spirit saying, like a little bit of tweaking. Here comes love, like doing what you love, taking a risk on something. So I don't know, let's say, I don't know, let's just say you have a YouTube channel and you do tarot, right? And you always thought that it was substantial enough to, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good example. I don't know, let's say just do YouTube, right? Just like this. And I mentioned to you in the beginning, I had channel memberships, right? It's something you have to pay for. You log into it, you do, or not log into it, but you go to that side of the page. Maybe you thought that just doing it this way only was the way to go, only to find out that if you took a different route, you tweaked it a little bit, that it would be better somehow for you. Maybe not the best example, but still an example. There's a requirement of tweaking, but I also feel like, again, without this change of you and this epiphany, you would have continued to go at it a certain way. And Aquarius, you're a fixed sign. That's heavy energy sometimes. We get into our way of doing things, and it's not that you're reinventing the wheel, you're just making small adjustments to change the way that you view it so that you can work easier through it. It's like working smarter and not harder, working towards something that is benefiting you outside of whatever this prior situation made you feel like, right? It's kind of like your feelings got involved in it, which of course, go figure, right? We're humans. But it's just a requirement of tweaking some efforts in a different direction. So when it comes to this work, what is this about? Two of Cups, you're going to bring something beautiful together. It's Spirit saying that it's just a matter of time, and to trust yourself on that Nine of Pentacles. It's going to hit Ten of Swords. It's bringing it all to an end, so that after these hardships, right? It's like you've tried something, you're worn out on it. Maybe for some of you, Dad was a lawyer. You went to law school, you tried it 2-3 times, and it didn't sink in. It just wasn't for you. So then you're like, you know what? Instead of going to be a lawyer, I'm just going to go be a paralegal. And you find that that's your strong suit, right? And it's, again, you're tweaking something. You're finding what divinely fits you solely, independently. You're standing on your own feet in regards to that type of energy, or whatever it is, again, that has kind of plagued the scenarios around you. When you do it on your own for the right reasons for yourself, you no longer have to worry about that. You're not living someone else's fantasy or dream or expectation. It's almost like you're required to have some level of boundary with yourself. It's kind of like self-check to go, when I show myself this boundary, that I don't have to people please or feel accepted by something, that I belong in this group of my own, that is you creating a boundary for yourself and saying, listen, self, like, when we get to that point, we can't go there. We can't do that again. We know what that leads to. It's a lot of heartbreak and pain, and Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords. Like, that's not where you're meant to be. So it's even stopping yourself from, I don't know, letting your mother come out of your mouth and going, let me rephrase how I'm going to say this. One of the things, if you've ever followed Jen Sincero, she's an author. She wrote How to Be a Badass, I think is how it was titled. There's one, it's How to Be a Badass at Making Money, or something like that. And she says in there, like, she would hear her mother come out of her mouth, and the relationship that she had with money. You got to change your way of thinking, right? We've always heard the terms of, money doesn't grow on trees. You got to work hard. You got to do this. You got to do that. But what if we changed our perception around that specifically? So what? Money doesn't grow on trees, but it grows in my garden, right? It's always about changing it to fit you, because your path, your journey is not the same as somebody else's. So it's changing the mindset as well to have this abundance. In that, you're going to find that people are not going to be happy. And this has been a repetitive theme for quite a few of the signs. Not everybody is going to be happy that you're happy. And that's just the hard reality. You know, they may not understand it. They don't have to understand it. It's not their journey to understand. But it's going to lead you to something that is much greater. And I do feel like that there have been people in your life, Aquarius, that have used and abused, that have competed with you in certain ways, that always had you looking over your shoulder. And if you're following a path of your own, I'm going to say you don't really have to worry about that. You know, it's only in those conditions that you surround yourself with people that want to compete with you do you need to worry about that. You've got water sign energy here. Could have dealt with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Could have brought on a lot of stress for you. But there's also, Spirit is saying, an emotional disconnect between you and that person. So I feel like, yeah, again, commitment. Like, you know what's worth investing in moving forward. You know what's not. Don't let the stress or the weight of old decisions be the thing that holds you back from making new decisions either. So let's get an Akashic card. I think, you know, point proven here. And, you know, you're ending on paradise and happiness. I like it. You know, some of you could go canoeing, hiking as well, in colder areas. Maybe that's your thing. You enjoy the cold and hiking in the cold. That's not for this girl. Some of you could be going places to be around water as well in the near future. Flow. That card came out for Capricorn, I think it was. And it says flow. You are learning the rhythm of trust and surrender. Forces larger than you are moving everything perfectly. Relax into the current and allow life to unfold. And threads of destiny. You sense multiple forces weaving your life together. Destiny is not fixed. It responds to conscious intention, which is that spells the magician energy. Begin weaving your own thread into a greater design. Aquarius, I like this for you. I think it's a good reading. You're stepping into your own on something. You're making some tweaks to things. Follow your gut and guidance on that, Spirit, and your higher self, and I think you're going to do great things. So it's just Spirit saying preparation for your season. So continue on, carry forward. All right, Aquarius, I'm going to leave it there. I'm sending you all so much love. I hope that you are doing well. Again, personal reads are open and available. Info's in the description box below. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.